Youth Can on Independent Television Abuja. I am your host, Joy Igoche. Youth Can is that very interesting program created by ITV to reach out to youths with creative and entrepreneurship ideas that are geared towards the development of the society. What we are trying to look at today is the issue of the youthful craze for quick money syndrome in the society. Quick money, making quick money in the society today, ritual killings and all of that. It is quite appealing to see that youths that we have today don't want to, follow the processes, the due process of trying to acquire something before you amass for yourself mass amount of money. We just want to have it quick. We just, whether by hook or by crook, you just want to kill people to have this money. And this is quite alarming in the society today. Just in this year, 2022, we had in January the case of Jennifer Anthony, a 300 level Unijust student who was killed for money ritual by a 20-year-old boy. You see, this thing is so bad. And recently we had the case of Sophia Kehinde in Abeokuta, who was killed by a 19-year-old boyfriend named Maje Kudomi and 3 of his other friends, although they were caught, but she had already lost her life. So you see that this thing is really, really bad. So we want to know, what are the rationale behind all of this? Why do you think people actually involve into ritual killing for the sake of acquiring quick money in the society? And I said we want to know because we are with a special guest here in the house today, Sumaila Musa, who is the National Program Coordinator for the Initiative for Community Against Drug Abuse. So we'll be talking together, looking at this topic and investigating it right after this short break. Please stay with us. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back, and it's still the program Youth Can on Independent Television, and today we are looking at youth and the increasing craze for money rituals in the society. So thank you, Sumaila, for joining us today. So quickly, how would you describe the craze for the quick money syndrome amongst the youths today?
The generation that started, it actually started with this Yahoo thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and so when the young people started Yahoo, and basically it actually started from the institutions, the higher institutions of learning, especially the moment this internet thing came in, that people know you can actually start dating online and stuff like that. And of course, they also borrowed a leaf from the 419 that's been in existence at that time. 419 was more prevalent at the time when internet came in. So they began to scam, their supposed girlfriends or a wife-to-be who are white people majorly. And then over time, when that, I think the government was able to curb that to a large extent, because when you eventually succeed in the scam, the point of claiming the money becomes a problem, because they put stiffer measures on Western Union where it was becoming difficult for them. But of course, at the time, they also start conniving with some of the bankers to actually get these funds. But when Yahoo wasn't really selling anymore that much, so they now begin to go to Yahoo Plus, which is the one that has to do with the ritual.
Yes.
So if you want to get money from the Oyibo that you're dating, that's the white woman or the white lady, you will have to get her name and the name of her parents, or maybe her mother's name, and take it to the voodoo man to help you do voodoo. And then that started trending, and then at the point where that seems not to be working again, that's when they introduced the full ritual thing into it, to say, well, even if we are having difficulties getting money from overseas, right here, what you are going to Sokoto to look for is in your Sokoto, so really they begin to make use of their girlfriends.
Yeah.
We've had cases, especially in so many high institutions, where you find students plucking the eyes of girlfriend, some body parts to go do rituals. And I've also seen cases where students are actually using 3, 4, 5 cars on campus, and when you check back home, some of their parents only have just a small kiosk, where they are selling to be able to fend for the family. So that became the rave, it became the craze, like every other person, to want to also be in that class of people who actually are the movers and shakers of campus. You understand?
Yes.
So it begins to trend. Well, I have to make it. If you can't, they say, if you can't beat them, you join them. So virtually everybody feels he needs to make this money by crook or by right, and that keeps going on until we are where we are today, where you really can't. I mean, it was trending even on Thursday that be sure to drop
your location, wherever you're going
to. Whoever is your van, let us know who it is and all of that. So really, these are just the genesis and.
Yes, thank you very much for that insight. And just to chip in something to what you said, today we see that even this Yahoo Plus and all of that are not just prevalent in the institutions anymore.
Yes.
You see some persons that they are not even in the tertiary institutions, and they are like the lord of this Yahoo Plus we are talking about. Like if you go to most places, especially in the south, so to say, like you find young teenagers. They're not even up to 18, and you see them driving luxury cars and everything, not the ones that were given to them by their parents, but the ones that they acquired via this Yahoo Plus of a thing. So when you talk to that kind of teenager, you find out that this person has no drive or ambition to continue going to school. He doesn't want to learn any skill. Thinking that, okay, why do I need to go to school and spend how many years in school, then come out, to this kind of tough economy that we have today, and you start looking for job, and at the end of everything, maybe in 5 years, you're not even able to acquire anything. Well, he can comfortably sit at home with his system, and scam people online and get, this investment and all of that. So we find these things prevalent not just in the people in tertiary institutions, but even amongst the youthful populations generally. The mindset, there's something wrong in there. So I would like to know, like, what are the causes, or what do you think are the causes of this?
You see, where we start getting it wrong is actually the generation, especially this generation, is a generation where largely parents have failed. Parents have failed in the sense that, I'll give you a typical example. Sometimes back when we were in school, some boys, bought cars, you understand, your siblings, and then they went home. The parents went to church on the Sunday to go and do Thanksgiving. You understand that their children want money from overseas, and this is Yahoo. That was Yahoo money. The parents fail in the sense that the quest for money, your children will have to go get it. Some other persons are getting it. There's another part of this country where when it gets into December period, you will find out that crime rate increases because everybody want to meet up with the pressure back home, because your old friends or your childhood friends are coming back home with 3, 4, 5 cars. You also want to meet up so that you won't be the one left out. And then the parents are also putting pressure on the children to say, can't you see so-so people, so-so person, what he has done for his parents, what car he has brought home for Christmas. So that pressure is on that child to also, by crook or by right, to bring it home. The second one is that we have lost it totally as a people in this generation, the fact that we celebrate mediocrity, we celebrate criminals. Do you understand? And so people who are hardworking are more or less like the non-ethical, they're relegated to the background.
No limelight.
You understand? Whatever you need to do, that's what the society is becoming. That whatever you need to do, just make it. You understand? Make it or die trying, So that has actually multiplied the number of people who want to do rituals for money. That nobody cares how you make your money. The important thing is that just make this money. You find in cases where people who are doing well, either in school or in their endeavors, are not being encouraged to do more. Hard work does not pay anymore. You can imagine if somebody come out now and sing very nasty song, that's what sells, that's what is trending. just talk rubbish. Oh, madness, many, you know.
It's just like the wrong things or the vices now are now being celebrated in the society.
You know, gone are the days where people do some things in hidden.
Yes.
Because they just don't dare want anybody to know. Because those are the days where two kids are misbehaving on the road, and any elder that is passing by, you hold them and flog them and even take them to their parents. And the parents will still thank him that thank you for doing that on our behalf. So, I mean, we've thrown that in the garbage now. So we're now in a generation where if you really want to train, if music is your forte, just talk rubbish, smoke weed while on stage or on camera, then you're the man of the moment, you're the man of the rave. People who want to sing to educate the society are no longer in vogue. So really, these are the things that, you know, really, because the message you're sending to the small ones coming are saying it that you have to talk rubbish if you want to train, you have to do nasty things if really you want to make money. You know, so these are the things that have actually brought us to where we are today.
Thank you very much, because you really did justice, you know, in expatiating this point. So from all you've said now, it's just looking as if the society is polluted.
Yeah, sure.
You know, the atmosphere is bad as it is. Yeah. But we can't keep, you know, lauding and saying, okay, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. So talking about preventive measures, like what can be done? Like, for example, now, from all you said now, it's like there is a fault from parenting in this generation, as well as our clergymen celebrating people, you know, for buying this and buying that. It's not like it is bad to actually acquire these things, but what means did you acquire it through? Yeah. You know, and you look at the age of this person, what substantial business is the person doing and all of that. So what preventive measures can be applied to this craze for this quick money and ritual killings?
Okay, so I think it is all-encompassing. It's a measure that everyone will have to know that they have a role to play. We need to stop celebrating criminality in our society. You know, even talking about the politicians. If you say you held social position for 4 years or for 8 years, and if you did not steal money, people in your community or in your constituency are going to curse you. That, so what were you doing there? You understand? You're not able to do this. You're not, because as far as they are concerned, you, even if you have to kill or you have to steal, it doesn't matter. This is what your mates are doing. So from that place, from that grassroots, you need to begin to know that what this man is not able to do, perhaps he didn't go into criminality to actually want to do it for you. So you need to begin to respect people, you know, based on what is available to them to actually work with. Because you say, oh, I've had where a minister said it in my presence, you know, a minister of state sometimes back. He wanted to get some contracts by every means. He was telling the substantive minister that I can't go back to my constituency and people will stone me. So down every legal procedure, you say due process, that's what they call it. Down every the due process, these things I have to get it for this number of people. You understand? Without any due process, because I don't want people to stone me when I get back home. So we've gotten to this stage, and then people from that grassroots need to start knowing that, look, if you have somebody who has his integrity intact, who will not be able to provide this, you should also respect him, not to stone him, to say he didn't steal money, and that's why. And now, even to a large extent, we are beginning to mock people who have held public office and not having anything to show for it. For crying out loud, what is his salary? So if you are saying that he's not riding big cars, the man has just stayed within his means, and then he has become a laughing stock in the society, because after being so for a number of years, he can't afford to have more than one house or more than 2 cars and stuff like that. We need to stop celebrating all this nonsense in our societies. Then another thing is that we need to learn to actually know that there's a particular age. You understand that it is not late because you're not rich at this particular age. The last one you mentioned about the one in Ogun, I'm sure just the eldest of those boys is 19. You can imagine. So we have gotten to a place where young people are already feeling that to live large, you don't have to be 25, you don't have to be 35, you don't have to be 45 before you can live large. You want to live large right from that. You can imagine a young graduate who is eyeing somebody in his vicinity, maybe a pound sec. See, wow, see car, see this, see that. Then I like that car, I want to buy that kind of car. Without actually asking himself, how old is this man? What and what has he done?
His experiences.
At what age did he acquire this thing? You understand? So you don't care. Maybe you see a car passes by. You don't care to know the age of that person. You don't care to know the nature of his job. All you care about is that those parents that are riding it, they don't have two heads. You understand? Regardless of age. So these are misconceptions that needs to really be corrected. And then you also make mention of the clergies. We need to be very careful when people, it's high time they even use the pulpit to actually sensitize the people that, look, God does not need blood money. God does not need ill-gotten money that you are bringing to either the mosque or the church. You understand?
Yes.
Because the clergies are beginning to twist it to say those ones that are bringing the money are given better positions in those places of worship. You know, and they are becoming the chairman or the chairman of occasions, regardless of how they are getting it. And the issue of always tithing and all of that is beginning to be twisted to say it doesn't matter whatever it is that you have to do it. God is only interested in the tithes.
Okay, thank you very much. For the want of time, we want to know, because we're talking about ritual killings here.
Yes.
And I like the fact that you have enlightened the clergies to actually use their medium and their influence to tell people that this thing is wrong. No matter what, we can't continue using wrong to justify wrong.
Yeah.
Because you say, okay, me, I'm doing this one. Our politician is not also dirty. You understand? You cannot use that same wrong to be justifying wrong, because how can we make the society better? Killing somebody for the sake of having money, it is inhuman. You are claiming somebody else's life. You are cutting short somebody else's, journey in this world. So what do you think are the punitive measures that can be, applied to anyone who is caught in this act?
You see, I think the National Assembly needs to actually work on this to make sure that we have laws that do not give anybody any second chance. Once it can be established that you're caught, you see, one of the things that it will not deter people is to know that somebody who killed someone for money rituals, the case is still in court even after 10 years, after 5 years. A lot of people would believe that they can actually get away with that. If you have laws in place that investigations must have been carried out and done with in the space of max 1 month, and once you are found guilty, is death by hanging, and that it has to be on video, it has to be televised, so that people will know. It's because when you keep most of these cases, you don't even know how it ends in the long run until Nigerians forget about it. Nobody. So those ones that have the intentions, they never saw what happened to the people who did it in the past, who were caught. You understand? In fact, there's a slogan out there to say, if you have your money, you can find your way around it. The police are also not helping matters. If you have enough substantial amount of money, you can actually bribe your way to say that the IPO knows the judge that will take bribe. I keep delaying the case and all of that.
Okay, so quickly, because of time, what is your advice to the youth? One brief advice to the youth, so we can wrap up this segment.
Well, my advice is to say that to live a honorable life is far much more. They say a good name is better than silver and gold. To live a good life, a honorable life, it's what is actually the way to go. Not to make money by crook or by right, to even go to the extent of actually killing your own siblings or your neighbors or whatever, or whoever actually. that is not the way to go, and shun every form of criminality
and vices. All right, thank you very much, Sumaila, for your input on today's episode of this program. It's been really insightful, and I know that we have all had a good time, and the expose to the dangers in this quick money syndromes that even allow people to even kill your fellow human being for the sake of money. So please desist from any form of social vices, desist from ritual killings. With this, we are calling it a wrap on today's episode of your darling program, Youth Can, on independent television, ITV. I am your host, Joy Igoche. Enjoy the rest of your day.